Welcome back to Live with a Classic, and we're back in the workshop. First time now in 2024. Have this car which I started working on at the end of the year, and in 2 days it's going to the paint shop. So it's pretty much all stripped, or it is actually all stripped. I'm just cleaning up right now and organizing some of the last things in boxes. I ran out of the boxes, so I went and picked some up earlier today, and I've already filled 3 of them. So I'm just continuing with that, organizing and labeling things. So I'll show you sort of how I've organized up all the parts, because it's a lot of parts when you take a car apart like this. Then what I've left to do is I'm going to vacuum out the interior just a little bit. I have to do that later, of course, when it comes back. We'll do sound deadening, all that, but I want to do that. And then I have some degreaser for the engine bay. I've been waiting for it to get a little bit warm. That's also why I took a slow start to the year, because we've had extreme cold here for Sweden. We can get cold sometimes, but usually not this long. So it's been prohibitively expensive to heat the workshop. I've kept it heated at about 10 degrees Celsius just so that nothing gets bad and chemicals and things like water in here, so nothing freezes. However, heating it any more than that has just been too expensive, so I've actually haven't even worked that much. But it's milder now. Now it's just -3 outside. Tomorrow's supposed to be 0. And on the day we're supposed to take this car, it's supposed to be +1. So it should be a really good day to transport it, and hopefully all that goes well. But let me just give you a brief look around what's going on, and I'll show you how much I've disassembled everything and how I've solved a couple of interesting things. So I'm in the middle of cleaning up and organizing things. Had a lot of, this stuff on the ground to soak up spills, because you do get a lot of spills taking things apart. So as you can see, the wings are off, and the horse is lonely in there. Wings are off, and they are over here. I have about 10 minutes left to spend on them. Get those badges off and get the indicators off on that one. But otherwise, they're completely ready, and they're in really good shape. That's really good. It's in really good shape under here as well. And I've removed everything I want to remove, except I got that resistor pack and that relay left to go, and that bracket I've noticed. But otherwise, we're pretty much gotten everything. The heat insulation, sort of asbestos thing back there, that is off and out of the way. Engine, of course, is out of the way. I have the exhaust held up here with these really big zip ties so it doesn't hit the ground over there. We have the brake lines are out of the way. And yeah, see, there are a couple small things left to do, but like I said, I gotta just loosen those. I've heated them up a bit, so they should come loose now because they were quite stuck. And just pull the brake hoses out of here so we get nicer paint. And this one I'm just going to loosen here and move to the side once the car has arrived there. I don't want it flopping about when we're driving there. So I do have a couple things I'm going to do to the car once it arrives at my friend Dan's body shop. I removed the top mounts from the shock so we can easily mask around there and get good paint in there. Other than that, this panel is going to get painted off the car as well, but it will sit on here most likely until the car goes there, just because it's easier. We're going to put the bonnet back on for transport. That is why the latches are still in place, but they will be removed once I get there. So my plan is, we'll go for it more later, but once the car gets to my friend Dan, I'll come up there like a week later. He will start stripping things down. And when I'm up there a week later, we'll take the doors off, we'll take the boot lid off, and we'll take the bonnet off. I just want to make it as easy as possible to transport it, but the front wings we're just going to lay on the floor in there. And then when I pick it up to get it back, I will probably, transporter will pick up the car, and I'll come up with another car and possibly a trailer, and then take all the loose bits on that and wrap them up in blankets and things. And then I will assemble the car myself once it's back. These are all marked up where it's supposed to go, so they're ready to take off. The wiring is just in here, it's taken out of the door. Yeah, interior is pretty much gutted. I just plugged that in temporarily to get the windows up and down when I took those out, so I'm going to remove that. Steering column is, because I still want to be able to steer the car and use the parking brakes, so that's still there, just because getting it on off the transporter and all of that, that really helps. This is just being held up with this nice custom rope here. That is because in order to get the pedal assembly out, you need to get this bulkhead connector out that lives here. To get that out, you need to get the heater motor out, blower out. So that's out. Heater motor is removed on that side as well to get the battery tray out. So everything can be nice and painted everywhere. Car's getting a color change and you'll get to see the new color. We're not going to talk about that until there. But yeah, glass is out of the doors. The doors are in really, really good shape, rust-wise. There's absolutely no rust in them. They're very good. So that is why I haven't removed the mechanism, because it's quite complicated, the mechanism on a coupe. We might go through at some point, but there's pulleys and things, and yeah. But the glass is out of it. So the rest can be masked up and painted, and things already have some overspray from previous paint, so I'll take some things out, clean them up, and then before the glass goes in, I will rust proof everything again. But I've done a lot of things on it, like some of the windows weren't working on the cars. I fixed a lot of things before taking it apart, so I know that they work. And then if they don't work, when I put it back together, that's easier to troubleshoot. Floors are in excellent shape, really, really good. So when it comes back from paint, I will continue to strip those, and we will put some sort of paint on them, and yeah, you know, modern sound installations to make this thing a lot better. In the rear, I've decided to keep the glass in because we don't have any rust, and because it is notoriously difficult to get this whole assembly out, and the risk is that you damage the glass. So I have some styrofoam I just picked up. I forget to bring it out here every single time I go out here, but I'm going to put a piece here and a piece here just to hold this in place, but all the chrome and everything is off it. I'm going to put those. I have a couple more things to put on boxes. I need one more box for interior bits and another box for some things in the back, I think. The headliner is out of it, of course. All that is good. We have absolutely no rust around here. Hopefully when this thing goes bare metal, we won't find a bunch of hail damage or dents and stuff like that. There is a couple door dings here, but they're not too bad. Yeah, handles and everything are apart. So I picked up some brand new ratchet straps. So we're going to ratchet strap the doors together when it goes on there, and the boot lid and all of that for the transport. Back here, fuel tanks are removed. Just had some coffee. So if you want to support the channel, you can head on over to my shop. Link below. Get some Living with a Classic merchandise if you feel like it. Tanks are out. The plan was not to take them out at first, but I gotta grab a light in there and I'll show you why we took them out. Here is completely taken apart as well. Pumps and everything are out of it. That's because someone's painted black, just like in the engine base is going to be painted body color as well. The reason also boot lid is still on because that's the only panel that I haven't been able to get to fit perfectly. I think this panel might be from a different car. I'm not sure. Something could have happened. You know, it's an almost 50-year-old car. But you see, I've scraped here just to see if this was filler. No, there's no filler here. This just doesn't fit very well. So the body shop is going to have to probably cut out here and move this and make that nice. So that's why I've left that in there, and then it will be removed to paint. But let me grab a light and we'll go up in there and I'll show you guys why I removed the tanks. We can say that there are a couple of reasons the tanks are removed. One of them is to be really nice to my welder, because he's going to be cutting around the filler neck there and doing things, fabricating. It's nice when the tanks aren't in. Second of all is, if you have a look up in here, that is pretty close to bare metal from the factory, pretty much, or probably some thin paint there at some point. But we have surface rust all the way. It's definitely not bad, but when we're going this far, it would be a shame not to treat that and paint that while the car is being taken apart. So we're going to see if I'm going to do it or if I'm going to ask the paint shop to do it. But just, you know, strip this down, treat it, and put a rust primer in there. And then I will rust proof everything with wax and everything when I put the tank back in. But that's why the tanks are out. Otherwise they could easily been left in, but because because the lower part down here where there's some surface rust, that can easily be treated and things. But just on like an XJ, sorry about the light here, you guys, will do my best. But on an XJ, just that this panel exists here in the bottom, and this corner, which always rots out, is amazing. I'm going to talk to the owner and see if he wants to do a modification that I like to make on these cars. This is the drain from the fuel tanks up there for water. And it goes down here, and it's pretty big, and you know, dirt and things come here, and it sits and it's always wet, and it rots out. What I like to do in my cars is to extend this a little bit, drill a hole here, and actually stick it out from the bottom. So it actually doesn't drain into a water trap. So I'm gonna ask him if he wants me to do that. If so, I will. Otherwise, if you can, it's hard to see, but this corner has a little bit of a bump in here, and that's why this bowl doesn't fit so well. So that has to be stretched out a little bit right here. So that's gonna be interesting to see what we find behind there. So it's probably had just a little bit of a small kiss there at some point. Otherwise, removing the tank just makes it easier to replace all the hoses and things as well, so really not too bad. Here are some of the boxes. I've already started to remove some of them, but then it got really cold again. That's why everything is over here. Like I said, tomorrow is going to be a little bit warmer, so then I'll actually open the door and take these out. So, for instance, this is just interior parts behind and underneath the dash. So we have the blower motors, we have some heating duct, and then for instance here we have steering column XJC. So I know those are all the bolts holding the steering column in place. And then things that can be weird, so this is the A-pillar vinyl, right and left, all of that. We might put in new stuff, don't know, but at least we have it. This box here is a left-hand door and door openings. This is all the chrome and everything. So some boxes I won't be able to close. That's fine. This all goes up. I have quite a big loft with parts. So this is everything from the left-hand door. Here are door handles and everything, the rubber and everything, put nicely in here, ready to go back. Here are all the braking components that removed in cars. You have master cylinder, all of that. We also have power steering hoses in there. This is just loosed everything from the engine base. So front shock top mounts, power steering hoses. That should go in here actually. So everything organized that way. This is front wings. So those are the inner sort of splash guards. We have the hoses in there. We have the buckets from the headlights and everything. So that is how I like to organize everything. We have about 4 more boxes over there. So tomorrow everything is getting carried up into storage. Like I said, it's going to be above freezing tomorrow. I won't think I'll be able to use too much water, but I want to roll this thing outside and degrease this, clean up the rest of it, then remove the last plastic plugs and things out of here. Take it in the workshop, dry it overnight, and then get the bonnet on, and then it can go to the paint shop. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this little bit of an update, and you see sort of the madness behind the chaos. If it wasn't so extremely cold, I would have, once I finish one box, remove it out of here. That's what I usually like to do, but it's just been too cold to open the door. Or not to open it, but it's just, it feels like it's a shame to let the heat out of here that I've paid good money to heat up this place and just open it up. But since the car is already going out here tomorrow to do that, I will do everything at once and then get it back in here. So this thing goes to the paint shop really soon. You'll see it back in, I think, 4 to 6 weeks. And you can see a new color. I have a lot of things on order for it. Making lists and things, interiors off being fixed, so it'll be really fun putting it back together. I still have the engine over there, so we're gonna have a look at that, have a look at the transmission, get that over to specialists, make sure it's in good shape, the manual, get new clutch for it and all that, hoses, water pumps, things. So lots of stuff left to do, but this is a big step that this thing is going off to the paint shop. And yes, There will be questions about the wire wheels. Yes, they're being swapped off the cars with hubs and all that, but we'll do that once it's painted. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Till next time, I'm Adam. This was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.